guys, I am here with HaphazaRd, the Terran coach for Aspire Rising. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty fantastic. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. Now, how has your time been in PvP, and how long have you been with them?
Well, technically, I'm not actually in vVv yet. Probably will be accepted pretty soon. I have my interview with Doomhammer tomorrow, and hopefully that goes well. If it does, I should be in, but whenever. I don't know exactly how long it takes after that interview finishes. But I've been around for about a month now. I think I joined the forums on Halloween. Seems like forever ago already, but it's been really cool so far. Like, basically immediately, I applied for the Aspire Rising team, and everything started to click together really fast. Like, started talking to a lot of the people, and just everyone seemed really nice, and it seemed like we were going to go really far, so that's really awesome. We haven't had that many practices yet, but so far, everything's worked out really well. We play pretty much every night, it seems like, at this point.
Yeah.
Obs and stuff, which is cool. It's really good to get to know people and just to talk about strategy.
Sure. Definitely. Now, as I said, you are a part of the team Rising. Why did you want to join it?
So I've been playing StarCraft 2 for around a year and a half now. I've been playing Brood War, or I was playing Brood War since like 2003. Never like anything actually remotely competitive. Like I played completely, exclusively use map settings for the entire time. But for the past year and a half, I've been playing a lot of ladder. And just recently, I felt like it's time to take it a step further and get involved with something. Just because I feel like there's a limit to how, there's not really a hard skill cap, but it gets really hard to continue to improve by just playing ladder. So that's the main reason I wanted to join something. And I also really like coaching and helping people improve at what they do. So it seemed like a good fit. And we also needed a coaching position, so I went for that.
Awesome. Now, you do play Terran. Is there any reason why you picked that race?
Honestly, there's not really. I know when I started my first few 1v1s, like May of 2011, I did play random. That didn't last very long. The main reason I picked it, I think, is because I had just played the campaign on like Brutal, so I felt kind of, it wasn't on Brutal. I don't know what it was, but I was feeling pretty confident with it. As far as knowing what units did what. It also feels somewhat similar to Brood War. And I played a lot more Protoss, like the rare occasion where I actually played a ladder game, or not a ladder game. Hell no, would I ever play ladder games in Brood War. Whenever I played 1v1s, I'd always play Protoss, but Protoss got Warp Gate, and Colossus, and all that stuff, so it seemed really different. And Terran just seemed really familiar to me, so that's why I went for it.
I see. Now, the goal for Team Rising is to get its members into a like state of mind to become a like semi-pro and pro players. What is your goals for esports?
I feel like getting everyone to a high master level is a good place to start. Just because it's really it's sort of a concrete thing that you can just be like, okay, you're playing at a high master's level, that's great. Getting a bit further, it starts to get a little weird, just because it's such a high level. It's hard to identify when you're actually doing really well and stuff. And the ladder is a good system for a while, and since we're quite a bit far away, that's what I want to start on. I don't really like thinking really long term, but of course something that would be very nice would be to get everyone sponsored eventually. I think that would be the big picture, is just to get everyone in the point where they can have somewhat of a sustaining career in esports. That would be fantastic if we could get that going on.
Definitely. Now, have you ever been to play or played in any major lands?
Honestly, I haven't. It's a really new experience for me. I'm just thinking about it. I played in online tournaments, of course. I think pretty much everyone has once they play a certain amount of games. But that's a totally different thing. But I want to do that at some point. I think it sounds really fun and a really good experience.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned the times you've played and all that kind of stuff for practice. What are your thoughts on the actual setup of it? Is there anything that should be changed, or do you just think it's good how it is?
I'm not sure what you mean exactly by that. Like, as far as the team practices,
Yes, like
I think we need them more often. Definitely. It's really hard to schedule though, with everyone living in
yeah.
different
Hmm.
time zones. It's a tough beast to tackle. But I also think that, like me personally, I've been working on getting some sort of concrete training regimen going, but I haven't actually got to a point where I can just say, okay, this is what I want you to do. Recently, I have told the people that are, I guess my players, I guess that's how you say it. It sounds really weird. I've told them that they should be playing at least 4 games a day and they should be analyzing the replays, all that good stuff. We try to focus on one thing per week that they should be working on. Um, Besides that, I think a big thing that needs to be done is working on people's mindsets. That's something that I'm a big proponent of doing. Or, yeah. I think it's really important to have a good mindset going into any sort of professional type thing, or competitive even. Because right now, I'm working with Razor a lot on trying to get him in a mindset where he's not really concerned about imbalances or anything like that, because it's a really good place to be. And that's something that I want to capitalize as a coach. I want to get my players to be able to be like, okay, the only problem that I have in this game is myself, and that's something I can work on. There's no inherent imbalances. There's nothing that's going the wrong way for my race. I can completely be the best player in the world. I just have to get to that point.
Definitely, yeah. Now, you you being a like coach, you definitely have to keep up with the current metagame and also with your own play. Is there, since during actual team practice you more focus on the team, trying to get them better, how do you practice on your own to make yourself a better coach and better player?
um, right now, I was talking about playing a lot of obs and stuff, and so when it's not a practice, usually I'm in the game a bunch, so I'm doing a lot that way as far as um, playing games through that. I'm also playing ladder. I haven't actually been playing very much, which is bad, frankly. There's no better way to put it. Um, I've been working on my Smurf, my second account. That's not really my Smurf anymore because since I don't have a name change, I'm gonna have to put that, or I'm gonna have to change that one to have the V's in it. So I've been playing on that pretty frequently, like 4 or 5 games a day when I can manage. I didn't play any today or yesterday because I was at work all day and then practice, so I haven't had a time. I haven't had time to practice that much besides the actual practice. Um, but anyways, um, I basically just try to watch people play, professional players, of course. Try to watch as many streams as I can because I can get a lot of that. And I also try, of course, to play a bunch of ladder games and to actually be engaged in the practices themselves instead of just saying, okay, this is what you should be doing.
Definitely. Now, the first team fight for the team is tomorrow night. Is there any way you are preparing yourself or your other Terran players?
Um, I think at this point, I'm just sort of going into it thinking, okay, this is the first time we've done anything like this. Let's just see how it turns out. Um, because I haven't ever been in a position where I've been trying to manage a team that's been going into a clan war type thing. So it's a new experience, and I want to just see how it plays out before being like, okay, this is what we need to work on. Um, but what we did at this practice, it was kind of different than our past ones. We didn't spend a lot of time on strategy itself for different players. What we did do for the first part of it is we set up who's going to be doing what role. Like who's going to be sniping, who's going to be starting, who's going to be an ace player, that sort of stuff. And that was basically good as far as practice as well, because we actually looked at our players and we're like, okay, X is really good at this one thing, so we'll put him as a sniper because he has a really good build that kills a certain play style, the standard play style. And we hadn't really thought about it in those terms before. Um, so that was pretty helpful, I believe. So that's basically the extent of the preparation. Because this is our first one, again, I feel like after this we'll have a good idea of what we should be doing.
Definitely. And basically in every other one you've answered what I have left. So just as a like random question, what are your thoughts on like Heart of the Swarm coming up?
Um, you know, Blizzard's in a really weird spot. Um, it's kind of similar with LoL. Just StarCraft 2 and LoL in general. I don't actually play LoL, but both those games are in a really hard spot as far as making changes. I know that Riot's really good at updating really slowly. The difference is that with Heart of the Swarm, it's a huge update, so that it makes it really hard to not be super game breaking. What I've liked is just recently in the last couple of days, Blizzard has come out and said, okay, this isn't working, we're starting out from scratch. And I think that's really good of them, but I feel like it's going to take a while, and I'm not sure if it's going to be coming out in March. It might be quite a bit later than that. But I like where it's going, at least with the stuff that's concrete. As far as the UI goes, as well as clans and groups and all that stuff, I think it's a turn in the right direction, along with the pseudo LAN play that's not actually LAN at all. I think those are all really good decisions. They've been listening to the community a lot, but they still need to work out the actual game, for sure.
Definitely. Now, I've basically covered anything about the actual game with you. Is there anything, anyone who will be following you or wanting to know more about you, you would like them to know?
Not really, I guess. As far as gameplay, I could say why my name's HaphazaRd, though, which is the reason why is also a reason why I wonder sometimes if I'd be a good coach. But it just comes from my playstyle in TVZ, which is it's really volatile to say the least. I can play really well, I can play really badly. I was just like, this would be a good fit for me. So I made my name HaphazaRd, and the only reason that the R is capitalized is because it fits the word, definitely. It doesn't make sense. That's the reason why it's capitalized. If anyone's wondering, that's how it works. One other thing is I play a lot of guitar. You can see a couple of them. I also have this one that is currently in this case. They're all, that one's on the ground as well. I really like music. And besides that, I can't think of anything, man.
All right. Well, first off, I would like to thank you for giving me your time to like talk with you.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no problem.
And is there anyone you would like to thank for getting you to where you are now?
I'd like to thank Razor, just because he's put a lot of effort into getting this thing flowing, which I think is great. I'm also having a really good time with Hiei and Robo, who are the people that I practice with most, just because I'm the Terran coach, and right now we don't have a Protoss coach. God, I can't talk tonight. And the Zergs are off with their own coach, so I've been playing with them a bunch. And they're both really cool people, and they made it really, really fun for me so far. So thanks to all of them. Razor has too really been a good practice partner, and you, of course, have been putting in a lot of effort to getting these videos out. I really like doing something like that, and of course, being the team coordinator and all that stuff is pretty cool too. So thanks to you as well.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you, and also please to everyone who watches this, subscribe and tune in for more videos. And have a good night.
Definitely. Have a good night.